This is the Daily Pixar News. The official teaser trailer for Inside Out 2 has been released. Also, Pixar's feature Elio has been postponed to 2025, while fans are yet to receive a trailer for the upcoming streaming series Win or Lose. We'll be back with the details after a brief interruption. So here we go for the next edition of the Pixar Update. And the main news in the world of Pixar is the freshly released trailer for Inside Out 2. Scheduled for a release in mid-June 2024, the usual spot for Pixar's feature. Before we start with the teaser reaction, I'd like to recap what the first Inside Out film was about. It's centered around the emotions that exist in our heads and guide us through life. Riley's core emotions feature, like all of us, joy, the leader, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness. When she moves to San Francisco, Sadness, who has never really played a role due to Joy's dominance, and Joy get lost, causing a lot of trouble in the Central. They find their way back through a whole lot of islands that shape our personalities. In Riley's case, there are some for family, friendship, and hockey, for instance. Then the two recognize each other's importance over the course of the film, and in the end, everything is fine again. That's where the teaser hooks in, you could say. It reminds us of the first film and then shows Riley's 13th birthday. Joy states how fast time passes, and in the next moment we see an alarm signal on the console. A wrecking ball smashes through the Central and suddenly a group of workers enters, destroy half of the equipment and leave after inserting some new stuff. The console is now orange. When the emotions start wandering, they discover a new one. Anxiety. She introduces herself and says they wanted to make a good first impression, which means there are even more emotions to come. The teaser concludes saying this will be the most anxious, envious, ennui, embarrassed, and everything film of the year. So we know ennui, embarrassment, those will be some of the emotions to make their appearance in the film. In fact, this idea goes back to the so-called 5 to 27 emotions concept by original Inside Out director Pete Docter that has now been adapted, and I'm honest with you, I like it. Sequels often need some justification, especially for critics, and in the case of Inside Out, it's more than justified. Why should there be just 5 core emotions? And doesn't puberty and growing up require more? Anxiety is what we all face when we become older, especially when school is over, as this section of life is much about doubts. Is this the best studies for me? Can I move already? Will I make new friends? I still experience these things myself. Am I already exhausted? Will I find a good job? And what if I can't make it to someone that succeeds? And why, on the other hand, should already be prominent quite earlier. So I really enjoyed how the demo team attacks the Central and the way we are teased about the film. It's cool to see the different marketing strategies for different movies. Inside Out is already established with its characters and the entire world, so you need to figure out what is most outstanding and catchy to grab the audience. In Elemental's case, for example, it was more about attracting the people to something entirely new, introduced the world. And in Elio, it was more focused on the main character and the plot. So what I'm curious about is what else we'll be surprised with in Inside Out 2. First of all, at least 3 more emotions are to come. But this also leads to the creation of new islands and personalities. This might include themes that matter more severely when you become an adult. You leave the simple life of playing fun and your own worries and start focusing on the whole thing: love, societal and political issues. This could include Riley's political views, if we put it in a broader scope, of course. A sense for environmental care, and so on and so on. So before we conclude, I'd like to touch a few more topics for this Pixar update. First of all, there will also be a Disney Plus series for Inside Out that has been confirmed this summer. As far as I know, it will be a long-form show. I'm already curious how this ties in with the second film and what it will be about. The makers of Win or Lose have stated the show format was interesting because it included new possibilities in creating the plot, etc. So this might also be the case for Inside Out. Maybe each episode focuses on another human character or emotion. Next up, Elio has been postponed. So this was not about triggering you in the beginning. It's been moved to June 2025, probably because of the actors' strike. However, This is not a satisfying explanation to me. We've already seen a teaser trailer, including lots of voice acting, and the film was scheduled for March, meaning that there were around 8.5 months from the teaser to the release. How much can this time frame become a victim to the strike? Can Pixar finish the film in time, but release Inside Out 3 months later? Disney has also delayed its live-action Snow White, so that there is, as far as I know, only a Mufasa Lion King prequel as a live-action adaptation for next year. I assume Elio and Snow White have been postponed due to financial issues. CEO Iger knows that Inside Out 2 is likely to generate large box office revenues. The original film had around $860 million, and most Pixar sequels gathered around $1 billion. So Elio, in contrast, is an original film, having lower chances to be a hit and doesn't look like an immediate top film such as the classics Finding Nemo, Toy Story, Coco, Inside Out, etc. Anyways, you shouldn't underestimate this, as Elemental was deemed a bomb, but as of now it has made 495 million worldwide, is the biggest premiere for 2023 on Disney Plus, and still holds the #1 spot there, only being interrupted last week when Nightmare Before Christmas made use of the Halloween season. In Germany and France, for instance, it still generates around $60 to $100K in theaters every weekend, even though it is already available on Disney Plus. So now we're really at the end, with the only tease for you that I'll be back soon with the Pixar update when we finally receive a trailer for Win or Lose that is set to premiere in December. So in case it's not delayed spontaneously, we'll get some exciting insights over the next few weeks. Bye.